Today we are going to start the ascending tracts. I already discussed the white matter of spinal cord in the previous lecture. So we are going to continue those lectures, the series of lectures, and I will discuss the ascending tracts, then I will discuss the descending tracts. The first tract which we are going to discuss is the dorsal column-medial lemniscal pathway. As it is understood by the name dorsal column, it is lying in the posterior white column or the dorsal white column of the spinal cord, as this is the section of spinal cord and this posterior part is the dorsal column. So this tract runs in the dorsal column, dorsal white column of the spinal cord. Now, before starting the pathway, I will tell you the sensations that are carried by this tract. It carries four sensations. One is fine touch, other is vibration, then comes conscious proprioception. By conscious proprioception, what proprioception is, you should know what proprioception is. Proprioception basically is the sense of position of your body parts. If you know where your hand is, if you know where your foot is, and other parts of your body, that means your proprioception is working fine. So there are two kinds of proprioception. One is conscious and one is unconscious proprioception. Conscious proprioception goes towards your cerebrum, the higher centers, and subconscious or unconscious proprioception that goes towards your cerebellum. The unconscious proprioception is carried by the spinocerebellar tracts, and the conscious proprioception is carried by this dorsal column pathway. Then the last sensation which it carries is the 2-point discrimination, which means that you can discriminate between 2 points if they are farther or close from each other. This thing is called the 2-point discrimination. Now coming towards the pathway, I already told you that every pathway has a chain of neurons. So in this case, there will be a chain of neurons. Let's find the neurons in the central nervous system. The first neuron of the ascending tracts, I already told you that all the ascending tracts have a common first order neuron which lies in the dorsal root ganglion. The dorsal root ganglion is a ganglion in the posterior or the dorsal root of the spinal nerve, and this ganglion consists of pseudo-unipolar neurons. So I have drawn pseudo-unipolar neurons in these dorsal roots. The peripheral process of these neurons, they reach receptors, and the central process come inside the central nervous system or the spinal cord in our case. Now I have drawn two levels of spinal cord. One is the level which is above T6 segment of spinal cord, and the lower level is below T6 level of the spinal cord. I'll later discuss why I have drawn two levels. Now coming to the first neuron. The first order neuron lies in the dorsal root ganglion, as it is common with all other ascending tracts. The peripheral process is attached to the receptors. The central process comes inside the central nervous system in the posterior gray horn of the spinal cord, but it does not synapse with any of the nuclei in the posterior gray horn. Now the axon bypasses the posterior, but the neurons in the posterior horn of the spinal cord and reach the posterior white column of the spinal cord. And after reaching the posterior white column, they start to ascend. Now, so I have drawn these two sections with two colors. The first order neuron with two colors. One is red and one is blue. The red one is the neuron which it represents the neurons which are lying below the level of T6 segment of spinal cord, and the blue one represents those neurons which are lying above T6 level of spinal cord. So when these neurons come inside, they enter the posterior white column and they reach the midline, and after reaching the midline, they start to ascend near the midline. So they ascend upwards towards the brainstem. Similarly, when the neurons which are coming from above the level of T6 segment of spinal cord, they enter the posterior white column and they start to ascend in a similar fashion, but as the medial part is occupied by the lower fibers, so these fibers will start to collect on the lateral side of these lower fibers. Now if you see this diagram, I have drawn a vertical section of spinal cord, and I have drawn a midline with black color in it. This dotted line represents the level of T6. So the red neurons are coming from below T6 level of spinal cord, and they enter the spinal cord, reach the midline, and they start to ascend. So they occupy a space which is on the medial side. So all the axons which are below T6, they accumulate on the medial side and they form a single tract which is called the fasciculus gracilis. So the axons coming from below T6 level, they collect on medial side and they form the fasciculus gracilis. Now the axons which are coming from above T6 level of spinal cord, they accumulate lateral to this fasciculus gracilis and they form another fasciculus which is called the fasciculus cuneatus. Now both these tracts, basically they are one tract, but the fasciculus cuneatus carry sensation from above the T6 level and below the head. It does not include the head. And those fibers which are coming from the lower parts of the body, they accumulate on the medial side and they form the fasciculus gracilis. Now eventually these both tracts, this is now, remember, the first order neuron is carrying the information right now, it has not synapsed with any other neuron. They reach the medulla. This is a cross section of the lower part of medulla. I have drawn a cross section of lower part of medulla, and if you know the features, the external features of lower part, this is the anterior part and this is the posterior part. These two swellings on the anterior part of medulla are called pyramids, and it has four swellings on the posterior part. Two medial swellings which are called the gracile tubercles and two lateral swellings which are called the cuneate tubercles. These swellings are formed due to the underlying nuclei, which are the nucleus gracilis on the medial sides and nucleus cuneatus, which are on the lateral sides. The nucleus gracilis form the gracile tubercles and the nucleus cuneatus give rise to the cuneate tubercles. Now the fasciculus gracilis, which is coming from the lower part of the body, below T6 level of spinal cord, they reach the nucleus gracilis. So as this is a nucleus, it has a collection of cell bodies of neurons. So these first order neurons enter these nuclei and synapse there. These dotted lines behind these nuclei represent the fasciculi, the fasciculus gracilis and cuneatus entering the nucleus gracilis and nucleus cuneatus from behind, and they enter the, after they enter the nuclei, they synapse there. So the fasciculus, nucleus gracilis and nucleus cuneatus become the second order neuron for the dorsal column medial lemniscal pathway. Now as these are nuclei, they have cell bodies of neurons, so their axons must go somewhere. Now the axons cross to the opposite side. This is the axon of the nucleus gracilis going towards the opposite side, and this is the axon of nucleus cuneatus of the right side going towards the left side. This is the axon of nucleus gracilis of the left side going towards the right, and this is the axon of the neurons in the nucleus cuneatus of the left side going towards the right side. These fibers, when they cross to the opposite side, they form an arc, which is, and so they are called the internal arcuate fibers. They cross internally inside the medulla, so that's why they are called internal arcuate fibers. And this portion where they cross each other is called the sensory decussation. So this is the sensory decussation which is formed by the internal arcuate fibers, and internal arcuate fibers are the axons of second order neurons, which are the nucleus gracilis and nucleus cuneatus in this case. Now as they cross to the opposite side, like if these arms, these represent the axons, when they cross to the opposite side, they start moving upwards. So these axons will now start moving upwards. As this is the lowest portion of the medulla, they start moving upwards, they pass through the rest of the medulla and they eventually reach the pons. They pass uninterrupted through the pons and through the midbrain, and eventually the second order neurons, the axons of the second order neurons, which are now called the medial lemnisci, they enter the thalamus. So I'm repeating the axons of second order neurons. First they form the internal arcuate fibers. The internal arcuate fibers cross and form the sensory decussation. Then the sensory, after the crossing to the opposite side, they start moving upwards as the medial lemniscus. So this is the medial lemniscus. The medial lemniscus represents the axons of the second order neurons. So this medial lemniscus now passes through the pons, through the midbrain, and eventually reaches the thalamus. And in the thalamus, they synapse. These axons synapse with the nucleus inside the thalamus, which is called the ventral posterolateral nucleus of the thalamus. So the ventral posterolateral nucleus, which is represented by a blue dot over here, it is the third order neuron in the dorsal column medial lemniscal pathway. So this represents the third order neuron in the dorsal column medial lemniscal pathway. Now, as this is a nucleus, obviously it will also have the neurons in this, the cell bodies of neurons in this nucleus also has axons. The axons will now pass through the internal capsule. Internal capsule is basically compressed bundle of nerve fibers which pass from the lower part of the spinal cord towards the brain, or from the brain towards the spinal cord. So this is called the internal capsule. These fibers pass through the internal capsule and eventually reach the cortex. Now this, I have drawn the cerebrum across a coronal section of cerebrum. For example, this is the suprolateral surface of the brain. You can see the suprolateral surface of the brain. This is the frontal lobe, this is the temporal lobe, and this is the occipital lobe. This is the central sulcus, and behind it is the postcentral sulcus, and between these two is the postcentral gyrus, which is the main sensory area of the brain. So I have drawn a red line to show the coronal section, from which part of the brain I have taken this coronal section. So if you cut it from here, this is the parietal lobe which is shown over here, and this is the temporal lobe which is shown over here. So this is the thalamus, this is the internal capsule. The third order axons of the third order neuron, which is the ventral posterolateral nucleus of the thalamus, they pass through the internal capsule and eventually reaches the cerebrum, and they end in the post central gyrus of the parietal lobe in the brain. And this area where they spread out and fan out, this is called the corona radiata. Corona radiata basically means a radiating crown. So they form a radiating crown and eventually end in the postcentral gyrus of the brain. So this is all about the dorsal column medial lemniscal system.